You made the right moves, the right school district, the right club membership, the right address on the right side of the city, and yet, you are one restructuring announcement away from financial fragility. That is not a character flaw. That is a capital allocation failure, engineered by an expectation system so sophisticated, so deeply embedded in upper-class professional culture, that it feels indistinguishable from ambition itself. Here is the diagnostic truth no one in your boardroom will say out loud. The lifestyle you built to signal that you've arrived is the exact mechanism preventing you from ever actually leaving. The private school tuition, the country club dues, the luxury building with the concierge desk. Each one was framed to you as an investment in your network, your family, your brand. None of them appear on a balance sheet as what they actually are. Illiquid, high-maintenance liability anchors, consuming the capital you should be deploying into income-producing assets. This isn't about spending less. It's about understanding the precise architectural difference between a status expense and a wealth asset. Trap 1. The elite education sinkhole. Private K-12 education at a top-tier institution in a major metropolitan market currently runs between $45,000 and $65,000 per child per year. 2 children, 12 years. Conservative estimate, $1,080,000 to $1,560,000 in post-tax dollars. That capital, invested in a diversified equity portfolio with a 7% annualized return over those same 12 years, compounds to approximately $2,200,000 to $3,100,000. The education your child received doesn't generate a return on your personal balance sheet. The compound interest you never deployed does. The system told you elite education was a wealth transfer to your child. The math says it was a wealth extraction from you. Trap 2. The country club liquidity drain. A premier private club membership in cities like New York, Chicago, or Los Angeles carries an initiation fee between $75,000 and $150,000, plus annual dues ranging from $12,000 to $30,000. The rationale is always the same: access, deal flow, network proximity to power. But here is what behavioral finance tells us. Transactional business relationships rarely originate from social clubs. They originate from demonstrated competence and institutional credibility. You are paying $150,000 in initiation fees to access a room where everyone is performing the same status signal for each other. The club's true product isn't access. It's the psychological reassurance that you belong. And belonging has a catastrophic opportunity cost. Trap 3. The zip code trap. She earns $340,000 annually. She lives in a neighborhood where the baseline expectation, the school district, the social circle, the perceived professional credibility, demands a home priced at $2,200,000 or higher. Her mortgage, property taxes, and maintenance consume 38% of her gross income before a single investment dollar moves. She isn't building wealth in that zip code. She is renting her social identity at a premium, monthly, indefinitely. The zip code trap is particularly acute for high-earning women because the professional culture signals are gendered. Her address is read as a proxy for her executive competence in ways that simply do not apply equally to her male counterparts. Trap 4. The wardrobe and aesthetic tax. This one rarely appears in financial planning conversations because it feels too personal. A senior female executive in a client-facing or board-adjacent role allocates, on average, between $18,000 and $35,000 annually toward clothing, grooming, and personal styling, often without tracking it as a line item. It is absorbed into daily life as the invisible cost of executive presence, but fragmented across 12 months. It is a portfolio position, a losing one. The aesthetic tax is not optional within the current corporate cultural architecture. Acknowledging that is not defeatism. It is the beginning of strategic budgeting around a real systemic cost. Trap 5. The social calendar economy. Charity galas, alumni donor events, corporate sponsorship tables. Each carries a price between $1,500 and $25,000 per event. And high-earning professional women attend an average of 6 to 14 such events annually. The implicit expectation is philanthropic participation as proof of executive class membership. The explicit cost, when aggregated, frequently exceeds $60,000 to $80,000 per year in post-tax expenditure. When every single one of these 5 traps operates simultaneously, and for most women earning above $250,000, they do, the cumulative annual capital drain routinely exceeds $180,000 to $220,000. That is not disposable income. That is the precise capital stack required to build a genuinely autonomous financial position within 7 to 10 years. Here is the architectural reality. Every dollar captured by these 5 traps is a dollar that never enters what I call your autonomy reserve, the specific pool of liquid income-generating capital that is the only thing standing between you and indefinite W-2 dependency. The system isn't malicious in the traditional sense. It is simply optimized for your continued high-productivity participation in it. When you maintain a $2,200,000 mortgage, $65,000 in annual tuition, and a club membership with a 6-figure initiation fee, you are not free to walk away from a toxic board, a restructuring, a role that is quietly dismantling your health. You are financially obligated to stay. That obligation was built brick by brick. With your own capital, the behavioral fix is not austerity. It is what I call deliberate lifestyle auditing, a quarterly non-negotiable review of every recurring status expenditure, mapped against a single diagnostic question. Does this expense generate a measurable return in income, investable capital, or documented deal flow? If the honest answer is no for 3 consecutive quarters, it is a liability, not a lifestyle asset. Specifically, automate a fixed percentage of every status expenses equivalent into a liquid index vehicle before the social expense clears. If the gala table costs $5,000, a corresponding $2,500 moves to your taxable brokerage account the same day. This system removes the psychological friction of choosing between status and wealth. You aren't choosing. You are running a parallel allocation engine that ensures the expectation system never fully captures your capital stack. And here is what makes this particularly dangerous for executives at your specific income level. The same psychological architecture that locks you into these lifestyle anchors. The fear of losing social standing, the identity fusion with your compensation package, is the exact vulnerability that corporate deferred compensation structures are engineered to exploit. When you are financially overextended by status obligations, you become the ideal candidate to defer aggressively into a non-qualified deferred compensation plan, because it feels like the only remaining savings lever. And that is precisely where the next extraction begins. Click the video on your screen right now, and let's dissect exactly how NQDC plans turn your deferred income into an unsecured corporate liability the moment a restructuring hits your company.